trying to get this thing working. Let's go ahead and figure out the Hermes agent. API call failed. So essentially it's not able to authenticate for whatever reason. I think I wasn't supposed to do it with the API. I was supposed to log in with my credentials. So let's go back and scroll how I can. Kind of annoyed that I can't just select something. So Hermes setup. Right, yeah, I think that's Hermes. I don't think it's gonna work inside here. I gotta go into the actual terminal. Let me go here. Enter. This is not gonna work either. How do I go into? Let me open up another. Hermes setup. Oh. Huh. Wait. Can I just say setup? Missing dependencies. I don't run this source register. Can do it right here. Interesting. Let me see. I don't know why it said I could just type it here. Let me go ahead and open it on an actual terminal. Yeah, that was never gonna work. CD Hermes Python Hermes setup. So this is pretty much activating a virtual environment, right? I don't even think I need the source. I just need .vnv. Okay, so now we're in this, right? And now from here, all we gotta do is type in Python Hermes setup. I'm guessing, so you can go here. Okay, so, so annoyed about this not working, but I guess okay. Let's do one. Okay, let's go ahead and do Anthropic 5. Using re-authenticate. Let's do 2. Let's do number 1. So I messed up last time I did API key. I don't API keys are different than using actual Claude code. So let's go ahead and authorize that. And then we are done. Let's do our default model as Sonnet. Let's just go ahead and keep it current. So essentially all these, right, you can run it in different areas. So I have a desktop, so it's always usually on. I never turn off my desktop. So pretty much I have my own like SSH, right? Anywhere I am, I can go ahead and log into my desktop. It's always on. But if you guys are someone who has a laptop, obviously leaving a laptop on is a little hard. You would want to possibly get a VM. Online, you can go DigitalOcean, create your own virtual environment, and then you can host whatever Hermes on there. Or that's why a lot of people buy a little Mac Mini so they can host it on there. So let's go ahead and do keep current. I want to do the settings later for that. Okay, let's just do Slack. I like Slack a lot. I actually like it better than Telegram. Go to Slack, create new app, pick from app, will generate from enable socket mode, create an app level token connection, install to workspace setting, install after installing, invite the bot. Paste it into the Slack apps, your app features, Slack reinstall Hermes setup. So I already have a Slack instance running for my Market Hustle stuff. So let me see if I can go ahead and let me open this manifest up. So paste it to, let me go ahead and go to my Slack. So can I make it on a free one? Essentially, you're making a Slack app, right? So create new app, pick from manifest. Okay, let's go ahead and create a new app for manifest. Market Hustle. So you can go ahead and hit next. Demo app back. Okay, create. And then in here, you can go ahead and go to app manifest. And then Hermes already kind of gave it, right? So it's essentially everything in here in this file is your manifest. So whatever stuff is in, you can go ahead here. I'm guessing you can just go ahead and delete all this JSON. And you can go ahead and hit save changes. Okay, changes have been saved. Let's go back to what I was saying right here. Okay, Slack, enable socket mode. So let's go to our app. Let's go to socket mode. Right, it's already enabled. Enable socket mode. So, create an app level token with connections at right scope. So OAuth permissions. Wait, okay. So we needed the connections are right. This is bot token scopes. I need to enable socket mode, install to workspace. No, enable socket mode, setting socket mode enable. Create an app level token with connections are right. Scope app level token. All right, I'm pretty sure this is app level token right here. Bot token scope, user token scope, connections. Is there? Let me just see if I can get a connections. I'm guessing maybe I'm in the wrong spot, so let me see. App home, agents and AI, workflow setup. Socket mode is done. Turning on socket mode will route your apps to interactions, event or WebSockets. So pretty much that's a way for Hermes to always contact Slack, and it's kind of like real time. Whenever you have a socket connection, incoming webhooks, slash comments, OAuth and permissions. I think it's already got whatever subscribe to bot events. Oh, event subscriptions. It's not an event subscription. Connections at right scope. Is there a connection? User connection. I don't know if that's the one. Connections. Is there another one? Oh no. Install to workspace. Create an Apple token connections are right. Install to workspace settings. App home. Okay, let's go ahead and install app. So install means you pretty much install it to your actual Slack workspace. So you have to do this whenever you make changes. So let's hit allow. And then just a bot user token. Install to workspace Slack. Okay, Slack bot token, paste into is it pasting it? Copy. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, it's saved. It's like allow user IDs, leave empty. I don't know if it's my computer. It's just like glitching here because I think I pasted it twice now. Allow user IDs. Home channel. I'm just gonna home channel ID. Leave it. So the home channel ID would essentially be like in Slack. You have a different channel, so you can create channels, right? So in here, I'm gonna go ahead and create like a Hermes channel. What? We already have one. Oh. Hermes. I mean, yeah. Agents? I don't know. Let me just create a public channel right now that I can go ahead and copy the channel ID and then paste the channel ID here. Like go to section. No, not right now. So we're ready to go. Okay. Now we can go ahead and do Hermes. I'm guessing this like web version of this Hermes agent.
Hey there, I'm Hermes. I can help you with edit. So I can help you actually so you're good. This is good. It just means the closer it is to 0.95, basically the less often it compresses. If it compresses too much, it can be a little bit more forgetful. Just log it and run it on our beautiful home computer. We're not going to run this one on DPS. This is going to be compression threshold is fine. 0.8 is good. It just means the closer it is to 0.95, basically the less often it compresses. If it compresses too much, it can be a little bit more forgetful. So we're happy with slightly higher rating there. And in the session reset mode, we're going to go ahead and keep Chris because it is a gorgeous API. So easy to use. To do this very new bot like this and these. What this effectively means is that only the IDs that you give it can message your Hermes bot, which is called user space copy that ID. With the launch of the service, just say yes. Then you can of course go ahead and confirm your user ID by pressing Y. Once you've done that, it will ask you if you want to launch it to service. Just say yes. Then you can come all the way down here, for example, hit on done, and then we are finished. Then guys, you can actually come back to the bot folder, click on the link to open a new tab, and you should see your Hermes bot here. So I can come start. So we can actually begin our conversation. I'm going to say, hey there, like so, drop this guy a message and see if he comes back to us. He's typing, he's having a thing, and we can have a little play around with what he's going to say, and this should be Hermes bot. So look at this guy, he's come back, hey there, I'm Hermes, I can help you with anything. You're fully ready to rock and roll. And Hermes is officially downloaded on your computer, which means you can use it on your phone wherever you want to. So we land into the dashboard, which is awesome. We can see all our connections here in our global universal AI.
Okay, so that is
Claude Code agentic systems are the future. What are the opportunity gaps based on the conversation in pockets of intelligence that could move to the modules that we is still living?
there's like so much stuff to learn in just all of it. So essentially, if you want to set up the Hermes agent with like this nice little UI, which does help a lot to visualize everything. So
this all connects together and why. So and what do I mean as the operating system? All your unlocks, everything from Claude, ChatGPT. So there's a lot of stuff that you guess at, right? Like what are they like outdated based on? It's kind of like what will be great for you about that. The skills that they're using in their system all that beautiful information when we understand how much that time is worth. So it's really, really cool to build this up for clients too. So when we think about this, realistically, there are 6 pillars that make the operating system in my estimation. And effectively what they are, it is the models that you...
Okay, I'm just gonna do this on myself. So we install this Hermes setup, see it in action, research the latest features, list where you do Telegram, Discord, Slack, and growing list of platforms, start on one, pick another. Delegate and parallelize isolated sub-agent with their own conversations, grows the longer it runs, persistent memory, real sandboxing, schedule automations, full web and browser controls, more details. So, tools, 40 built-in tools run locally, platforms. So, docs. Let's look into the documents. Get started, right? Windows, PowerShell. It's not a coding copilot that to an IDE or a chatbot wrapper. It's an autonomous agent that gets more capable. It lives where you put it. File or VPS or GPQ or serverless infrastructure that costs nearly nothing when idle. Talk to it from Telegram while it works on the cloud VM. You never SSH and it's not tied to your laptop. Install in 60 seconds. Quick start tutorial. Your first conversation keys. Let's watch this, okay?
Welcome everyone to the Hermes Agent Masterclass. I've dug into basically every document, every feature, every community skill and plugin, and designed this masterclass from start to finish. It's right now designed as 11 episodes, but obviously as Hermes Agent evolves, I'll be adding new episode 4 of the CLI. So part 1, what is Hermes? Hermes Agent is an open source AI agent built by New Research, and it's a lab behind the Hermes model family. Most agents are built by tool companies. This one is built by the people who train the models, and that matters. And more on that in a second. It runs in your terminal as a CLI or as a gateway that can answer on your phone via Telegram, Discord, Slack, iMessage, WeChat. They have 16 platforms as of the latest version. It's provider agnostic, so you can use Claude, you can use GPT, Grok, Kimi, you can use a local model via Ollama, or anything else. Hermes doesn't care, you can pick exactly what you want. So why does this exist? New Research trains models. They built Hermes originally as a harness that generates training data. So when you use Hermes, you're using the same tool New Research used to build the next generation of their models. And that's a credibility signal you don't often get. And this is obviously open source, MIT licensed. As of this recording, around 70,000 stars on GitHub, nearly 300 contributors, and it's moving fast. We literally just got the most recent version, 0.9.0 today. So the key bet of Hermes Agent is compounding value. Most agents are stateless. So every session starts from 0. Every ChatGPT session starts blank. Every new Claude conversation starts blank. OpenClaw, usually the same. Hermes was built differently. Every session feeds the next one. So there's a 4-step loop here. You give it a task, it could be anything. It records a trajectory, and this is the tools used, every decision made, every result. And then it can extract that as a reusable skill based on how it worked. So the next time it's faster, more accurate, and costs less tokens. And this is compounding value as a thesis, and what makes Hermes really unique. A Hermes install that you've had for 3 months is fundamentally better than what you set up yesterday. So you're going to get to see this for yourself. I'm going to be installing this on a new device that has never had a Hermes Agent, and through this masterclass, you're going to be able to see exactly how it develops, what skills it learns, and how it becomes smarter. So how do you know Hermes Agent is right for you? So if you use agents enough, that compounding benefit pays off. Occasional users may not feel it. If you want model freedom, you might want to start on Claude. Want to start on Grok, end up using local. Hermes can roll with that pretty easily. And if privacy or cost matters to you, the local model support is really first class. So you may not want Hermes if you just want a chatbot. You just use ChatGPT. You don't need a full agent. Or if you need max platform integration breadth. Right now, OpenClaw has a bigger out-of-the-box integrations, but Hermes is catching up as we speak. So by the time you see this, that may not even be true. Okay, enough of me yapping. Let's actually install this thing.
We'll be right back. Are you supposed to be getting up anyways? In 30 minutes, please. You want another 30? Not? Okay.
So will it run on my machine? If you have a Mac OS, it's native, Linux, native, Windows, it only works on WSL2, and you need this. These are just dependencies that it will install. Now, I'm on a Windows PC, so we need this WSL2, and if you've done any Linux development on a Windows machine, you're familiar with it, but if you're not, I will show you what it means. So this kind of gives you a breakdown, but WSL stands for Windows Subsystem for Linux, and the default one is usually Ubuntu, 10 version or just providers, and these are your AI providers. New Portal is New Research's subscription service for AI models. OpenRouter, you can see, and GitHub. You're gonna have to put in a credit card at least. This one. No Open has or only show using that. Each message adds to the conversation history, which means you're gonna have higher token costs. the gateway. We're going to set up a couple of these, so I'll save those for next time. Choose provider, local browser, browser use, firewall. Right, sure, something else. It's agent. I'm sure you all want to see that. So this has all the available tools. You can see all the available skills, and these come with it. None of these are custom. These just come with the Hermes agent. You can see I'm using Nemo V2 Pro through OpenRouter right now. So there you go. That was the installation and the setup. Now Hermes just starts this chat UI, TUI terminal user interface. If you just do Hermes, you'll do this. Hermes gateway starts the messaging gateway, which you'll need to connect to Telegram. Hermes Dockers to check for any issues that you may have. So I exited, it's just /exit to get out. So let's try a couple of these CLI commands. So Hermes model just shows what you're using. Okay, you have to reload your shell to use the Hermes command. So let's do that. So you can see Hermes model will open up the configure, and you can select which provider to easily switch to them. So we're going to stay with two. The whole configuration that you have here, where your project is, what model you're using, what provider you're using, your API keys. You can see which ones are set and which one. Quite not much. But see, Hermes Insights, since I just pulled it up. Yeah, no sessions found, because I just loaded it. So these are other things. You can see Hermes Sessions Browse. The cursors picker to resume. So you can browse which session you want to resume. Hermes Skill Browse, you can discover and install skills. Let's do that. Hermes Skills Browse. There we go. Got a lot of skills. 50 skills loaded. Have all these different ones. Canvas, you can see skills, which is obviously trusted provider. You can see they have all these skills. Cold emailing, React email, business, Hermes config show, which is going to show your configuration. Like I said, while I was filming this. There you go. We're updated. Hermes update. I think they may have had an update recently. And slash commands, and these are in chat commands. So let's go back to the chat, and that's just Hermes chat, right? There we go. Back to the terminal. Still with Nemo V2. So new, if you've used like Claude Code, this feature, you can see /model. I'm going to switch to ZAI / reboot this configuration. Right. This session, if you need it. So this is where stuff lives, and just quickly, everything is stored in this /.hermes file. And this is your how to install Hermes agent. It's going to be here, available for free, but just to show you another option here is Tavily.options later on. But here you get enter it. Okay, so that should be set up. And I checked here, I did Hermes status. You can see, there we go, Tavily is set up. Instead of just a name, you can use AI to create custom illustrations in the style, the customer requests, as well as story themes, etc. Please do thorough research into some good leads. Thorough breakdown of the competitive landscape. You into one illustration style. If you let the customer choose or define actual art style.
There's a lot going on here, so let me just go ahead and just ask Claude. Let me just ask Hermes, right? We have it installed. Can you tell me what Hermes is, essentially, and explain it to me like I'm a 13-year-old kid or 15, whatever you want to say it. Just make it really simple. So, from my understanding, right, from anybody's understanding, there's a lot of AI tools out there, right? And everyone's got their own models, right? ChatGPT's got, what is it now? 5.5, GPT 5.5. Claude has obviously Sonnet and Opus. Google has Gemini. There's Kimi. There's DeepSeek. So we have all these different types of agents out there, right? We have all these different types of AI models. Now, the whole point of Hermes or whatever you want to say it, I understand is it's pretty much an agent that's smart, and it remembers every context or all the contexts that you've done before, and it has a lot of pre-built skills, and it's a little bit smarter. Can you please explain to me how Hermes differs and why it's so popular lately compared to other tools, and how it's better than Claude Code, and how it can be more powerful? So like, I know a big part of it is that you can connect like with Slack or with Telegram and always talk to it and stuff. But what really makes it stand out more than anything, right? Because I can kind of get Claude Code working too on like my VPS and have Slack and talk back and forth, sort of. It's not as intuitive and stuff, but like, what really just makes Hermes stand apart, and why has it gained so much popularity, and how is it different from OpenClaw, right? So I'm trying to ask these questions because I'm sure you guys are wondering too, right? There's a lot of stuff going on. Like even me, I get confused. And a lot of times my brain lately has just been working on like autopilot. There's a lot of times where when it comes to coding or anything related to tech, all it is just questions. You ask questions and you you dig deep into these questions and answers, right? Like, what is a VPS? Okay, what is a WSL command? What is like this? And like every single thing is a question. Like it needs to be a question, and you need to explore it. All the great people who I've known that are smarter than me, that have done more, that are like I talk to every single person looks dumb. You just ask questions. You forget. Before I used to think just because I don't remember some commands and coding that I'm just stupid. Right? Even now, I'm asking dumb questions. Like your brain gets shut off, and AI is like making it easier, so you don't have to worry about certain things. Right? Why do I need to remember a long command when I could just tell AI to run it? Right? It's gonna format the whole entire thing properly. For me, my worry should be the design. It should be the architecture. It should be the thought process on like the actual program itself, right? How should it function? How should it handle these things? What is my vision, right? Like for us before, we were focused so much on not the vision itself, but like how to actually get it running properly. Where it's like, hey, this code, like focus on each line, and you have to get it like just working. It was so much to put it together. Like you couldn't really focus on the larger picture because there's so much small things going on, and each little file that you had to make and connect. And the hardest thing for me was to always organize everything, right? Like look at these amount of files that are here, right? It's kind of crazy back in the day. Like you would just look at all this and you would just have to know, right? Like, hey, this is where these files are. This is where this file runs. This is how this gets referenced. This is how that gets referenced. And that's a lot, right? And then like even just looking through this right now, like you can tell what some might be, but in the back end, like how are they all connected? Which scripts are here? Do I know these scripts? Like these index.py, when does this get, like there's just so much going on, and it's kind of crazy. So it's always important to just keep asking questions, and then just plug in and chug in. I think the people who will become the smartest and the best when it comes to AI is just the ones that continue to be relentless and don't overthink it. I think we're getting to the point where it's kind of like the chart curve, right? Where there's either really smart people, like really, really, really smart people, like where there's like, I want to show you guys the visual I'm talking about. The dumb curve visual. Right here, right? This there's like the really smart people, right? That just know AI, just know it to a level that normal people wouldn't comprehend, just because they're doing that much research and all that stuff. And then there's people in the middle of the pack, where sometimes I am, right? Where it's kind of like, I want to know a little bit more. You're thinking a lot. You're trying to figure it out. It's just so much. You're like digging deep to the level of overthinking everything. You're just like, why is it? I don't know. You're just not like, you're a little bit worried. Where you're trying to figure out what's going on. Like, what is this? Like, blah blah blah. And then there's this guy, right? Who's just like, hey AI, can you create me a $1 billion company? And for some reason AI just does it, right? Like to a certain degree, it just goes ahead and starts, like this guy's so delusional on the left side, where he's just like, oh, it's gonna work, and he keeps prompting and prompting and prompting and prompting to the point where you've prompted so many times that you literally have beaten somebody who's overthinking, trying to plan everything. And it's just like crazy because you just use AI to reiterate the process. Now we're getting to the 1,000 kicks. Like, that one, what's that Bruce Lee quote where he's like, I don't fear the man who's practiced 1,000 kicks. I fear the man who's practiced one kick 1,000 times. It's kind of essentially that kind of thing, right? Where you're just like prompting, somebody has an idea, and then they get on ChatGPT, OpenAI, they get on Gemini, what do you call it? They get on Grok, they get on Claude, whatever it is, whatever platform it might be, and they just prompt and prompt and prompt and prompt to get their idea out the door. And before you know it, they're out the door, where this person's thinking too much, trying to figure out, hey, what's optimized? What's the best one? Like how do we, before we actually start prompting it, let's go ahead and plan everything to a certain degree. Like, no, like it's just kind of like go, right? So that's why I'm just like, I'm kind of diverting myself, because the middles are overthinkers and never get anything done, right? They use this a lot for stock markets. Where it's like crypto, right? Either you're like the 1% where you understand crypto more than anybody else, the blockchain, the actual like Rust language behind a lot of the tools that are being built, what Ethereum is built on, you can dive deeper into the code. And then there's the middle of the pack who's always trying to time it, who's trying to be really smart, who thinks they know, like, oh my God, I think I could time the market. I think crypto is just gonna go. I think in 2 months, I think this announcement's gonna happen, and then I think it's gonna dip, and then I can buy it then, and then in 3 months it's gonna double, and then that's when I'm gonna sell. That's what the middle of the pack people do. And then there's the left. There's the guys on the left who just buy. They don't give a shit. They are convinced, like, hey, I don't know what it is. I'm convinced this shit's going to the moon, right? This shit's going to $1 billion. And all of a sudden, those people, they win, right? They don't overthink it. They have a conviction. They just buy, right? That's like the hard. And a lot of times they lose big, right? But here's the issue with that. The people in the middle just get chopped up. They just get completely destroyed and decimated, right? You just die by 1,000 cuts, right? The ones on the left, at least they take a chance and you're like there. So I would say it's either you got to figure out where you land in the pack, and then you kind of have to just go that way. If you really think you are smart and big brain, which, first of all, just the feeling like that is a very interesting feeling, because like every time I think I am like that, and I'm just like, man, I'm not, I'm not that smart, or I don't know. There's just so much that I cannot know and I don't know, and I'm always trying to figure out like how do people know so much stuff, and then there's a left side of it where I'm just like, man, I feel like I'm not that dumb. I'm pretty smart, but I think it's your job just to lean towards one side and just stick to it, right? I'm getting to the point where I would like to know more. I want to know how this whole thing works, like how like the whole entire warehouses and infrastructures and down to the detail. I want to know exactly where it's going. I want to know how what do you call it? Where quantum computing is gonna go. Where is AI gonna go? Like there's just so much. Or I just want to be like, yo, I don't care. Just keep building cool stuff. Like, keep shipping it to all these companies. I'm just going to work on trying to get one goal, whatever it is. Build my company, build my startup, build this idea. And I'm just going to use all the tools that I have available to it. And I think I'm leaning towards that side, because I think that side's the side that's going to win in the next couple of years, because those guys will see what's coming out. They'll just hop on and be like, they won't ask questions. They'll just go, right? New AI trend came out. Screw asking questions. Will this last in the next 2 years? Will this be here in 3 months? I don't know. Use it, right? Everything in this space is just getting outdated so fast. You don't even know. ChatGPT had a chokehold on the entire world, and they lost it, right? They're gone, and now Claude has a chokehold on the entire world. I have no idea if they're gonna lose it. There's been so many random players in the middle. There's Perplexity that came out, and that's almost like I don't even know anyone who's using Perplexity anymore, right? There's Gemini. They made a huge comeback. People have actually used them. I think they're the ones that have been the most consistent in the middle of the pack. I think they stand out a lot because of like Nano Banana. They have image generation. They've gotten better and better, and they've continually improved their product. And then you got, I don't know, just a bunch of other tools. All that to say, it's time to just pick a side, right? You want to be on the left, you want to be on the right. You just got to go. So anyways, getting back to that, let's go ahead and see what Hermes would say after I ask him this question. I'm curious to know. Oh my god. I thought I logged in. API call failed. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna ask Claude Code that I have running, right? Let's go ahead and see. Let me just go ahead and open another Claude session. Let me go ahead and go here. Just go ahead and hit new chat. Let's see what it says. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm not gonna be using Hermes at the moment. I forgot Claude made that thing where I thought they revoked that or they allowed people to continue using it again. Ugh. I know they did it for Claude Code, where for OpenClaw before, where they restricted it, and I thought they gave it back. But I'm not gonna do the API token right now. I'm just gonna continue back to working on my app. So, anyways, I install Hermes, and all it is at this point. Where let me ask her the same question I was asking. How do I get more of this? If I copy this, will it copy everything? Or will it dot it? Let's see what it says. I mean, it's just a question that ties everything together with Obsidian, I'm guessing, right? Imagine AI models like Claude, really smart brains, are brilliant, but they forget everything when the conversation ends. I mean, they do forget the session, but they can always recall it if you save them as skills or .md files, right? It can only do what you manually ask them, one thing at a time, can't really do things on their own, they just talk, right? True. Hermes is given a brain, a body, a memory, and a job. It's an AI agent framework. Think of it as a wrapper shell that sits on top of models like Claude and makes them capable of remembering everything across sessions, persistent memory, using pre-built skills like tools it can pick up, acting autonomously. You give it a goal, it figures out the steps, living in your chat apps. So the honest answer is convenience plus persistent. Claude Code is a powerful tool, but it lives in your terminal. It's focused on repos and code. You set up Claude in your VPS and Slack. It kind of works, but it's duct tape. You built that yourself. Same experience out of app. Plus it remembers your preferences, past tasks. Tell it to use Claude. Honestly, you might. Okay, so for example, give me a scenario. So Claude can have skills, right? I have skill files, I have .md files that it can reference memories, right? I can tell Claude like, hey, reference this file or skill or whatever we use, right? I do understand when the chat session gets closed, we lose all context of everything we talked about in that chat. But I can always tell Claude to save it to a memory file, and then we can reuse that. Now, are you telling me that Hermes can automatically do that? And how does that framework do it automatically? Like if I right now connect Claude to Obsidian, then I can have every single thing that I talk about in Obsidian. Then wouldn't Claude technically have context about everything I'm doing anyways, where I can just tell it to read? Can I just save the context of every file that we talked about in a session and automatically upload it to Obsidian? And then when Claude, I'm asking a question, it can already reference that file, like the last conversation, where I can let's say I have a timestamp on each Obsidian file. Where I was like, hey, can you go back to what we talked about yesterday? And it just goes through all the Obsidian files. I understand that requires a lot of token usage, but how is that different from Hermes? How is Hermes optimizing this whole process? Like, what is it really like? I know it's a framework, but what is in the framework that's making it do this? And why wouldn't Claude Code automatically do this themselves? Why would they let somebody build this whole agent framework on it? Right? Like, is the main thing that it's automatically connected to Slack, which makes it easier, or like, and runs autonomously, right? You can kind of, obviously in Claude Code, you can schedule a cron job, but in Claude Dispatch or something, you can have it run autonomously. Pre-built skills, it says some many. I can add a lot of pre-built skills to Claude Code too, right? And multi-model, that's the one big one, right? But I have cursor, so I can swap between models and cursor. Memory, again, limited versus persistent. How persistent is this memory? Like, how is it becoming persistent? How is it using the persistent memory? And coding focused, yeah, that all looks the same. So let's see. So these are the questions that I'm just wondering in my head, and they might be dumb questions, it might be obvious or whatever. I'm just trying to really understand, like, even OpenClaw, when everyone kept saying it was so amazing, I'm like, what is everyone doing? What are we researching? What are we trying to figure out, like, for OpenClaw that's really that, like, is everyone running a multi-million-dollar company or like a crazy small business? Like, what can you possibly do without organize your emails for, like, the average person? What are they doing that requires so much that you need a whole employee to manage your day, right? Your Obsidian, that's essentially what Hermes is doing under her hood. The magic isn't some revolution, it's engineering community. Let me show you. Here's how you manually approach. You talk to Claude, session ends, you manually say save this, Claude writes to a file. Next session, you manually say read the file, Claude loads it. You're orchestrate, you're remembering. You talk to Hermes, session ends automatically, framework auto summarizes the session, chunks it, embeds it into vector database. Next session starts, your new message gets embedded too. Vector search pulls only relevant past chunks, injects them silently in the context before Claude even sees your message. Vector search, the real differentiator from Obsidian. Say you had 200 conversations, and Obsidian has 200 files. When you ask, hey, what were we talking about? What happens? Your manual approach, you either load 200 files. Hermes, your question gets converted to vector embedding, basically a math model. So why Claude doesn't do this on Anthropic? It's a model company, not an agent platform. Their job is to make Claude smarter. Their ecosystem around Cloud Memory, orchestrating, scheduling, multi-app. They're intentionally left that open for builders. Also, agents are still genuinely risky and experimental. Anthropic moves carefully. Third-party archive. So this is the main thing. You have Claude Code. So I guess the main thing is a persistent memory, right? And like, for me, I keep my desktop open all the time, so I almost have all my chats always open, right? I have like 5 different terminals open at all times, and they pretty much, I don't close them. There's no reason for me to close them, so I don't necessarily know if Hermes is for me, right? And it might be later on if I was doing, I think when I have I don't know, it remembers projects across everything, so like, if I have multiple different projects, how is it remembering all that? Like, do I have to load that into Hermes? It's still a little bit, I don't know. I feel like so many people are using it. It's gotten stars, but I don't know what you're using it for is like the interesting part to me, right? Like, it's cool for sure. Every weekday at 9 a.m. summarize my inbox and post to Slack. You can do this already though, like with just Claude Code. I think the biggest thing is just jumping between. It's kind of like a VA, virtual assistant, as performance depends on elements. The good part about Hermes was open cloud environment. With open cloud, it's one track mind. I can jump from one project to the next and go back to something from last week. It's just chat plus running on VPS. Not trust we were doing local. I think I've heard of Paperclip, right? What is Paperclip? Team of agents for Paperclip is the app people use to manage AI frameworks, open source, self-hosted. I like Paperclip. This is something that would be pretty useful for me as I'm building my startup, because sometimes I do get lost with who the frick is the CTO, CMO, what do they have access to? How much does this cost? This is freaking sick. I like this. This is something that I would definitely use. Get started. Hire teammate, get started. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. This is something that I'm definitely interested in. Let's go ahead and do Paperclip. I haven't even seen like people using it or whatever. I'm just gonna follow whatever they're saying on a prompt and figure it out. This seems pretty cool. Okay, let's see what this is all about. Market hustle, mission and goal. My mission and goal is pretty much trying to make sure everyone makes money off of a side hustle. Mission is to make sure everyone has make sure everyone has a hustle they can make money from, to help people monetize their to help people pretty much to help everyone make money from their side hustles. To make it easier or whatever. Claude Code, recommend, agent name, create your first agent, CEO. I feel like the CEO should probably, I don't know, Opus 4.7. I've been using 4.6 and 7. I don't know, I haven't used it as much or paid attention which one's shitty and bad. Runs it live, probably ask your adapter CLI, responds with hello. What is that? Hire first engineer, you're the CEO, hire funding engineer. Okay, give it something to do. Create an open issue. Hire your first engineer, creating a hiring plan. Did I connect this already to Claude Code? How is it having context for this? Or how's it getting into my Claude Code? I'm a little confused because I'm pretty sure I just installed it on my terminal. But how is it already running? Where did I get the login information from? It's interesting. Brand color is orange. Like that. Working. CR running. The instructions are heartbeat, soul tools, I'm malware. Let me get oriented. Skills, org, CEO, Claude Code, local. Instructions, agents, you're the CEO, your job to lead the company. You must delegate work rather than doing it. Run a task on what you do, set priorities. Keep work moving, don't let tasks sit. Memory and planning, okay. Heartbeat, run a checklist every heartbeat. Soul, you're in the world, voice and tone tool.md. Your tools will go here and that's about them. Skills, paperclip dev, paperclip memory for configurations, run, budget. Okay. That's pretty cool. Let's see who it's gonna hire. Hire founding engineer, writing plate plans, okay. This is actually pretty freaking sick. I don't know, I feel like I like this. Hermes is just an agent, right? With persistent memory, so I feel like this manages different agents, so that the CEO can still manage Hermes, right? So essentially it would be like, hey, go figure this out, and then go to the review agent and ask if it's okay, or go to the CTO and see if you can get, pretty much, we get to the point where we're creating a virtual company, right? I'm sure a lot of people have already done this, but we can create so many guidelines and documents for this where essentially we have the CEO, we know exactly what it's going to do. If I talk to my app enough and I find, so what I want to do now, I think if pretty much this would be my idea right now. If I need to get going. I feel so lazy right now a little bit, but essentially what I would do right now is, this looks really cool, right? Obviously, I haven't gone to nitty gritty of it. I just heard of Paperclip. It seems like an agent orchestrator, and it's. I know there's a lot out there. This one helps me visualize the best because it's already there. It's giving me like an org chart. It's actually selling it for me. It's so nice that it does that. So essentially, what I would do is I would tell it exactly. Go on YouTube. I would look at every successful CEO. I would figure out exactly what are their top traits that really help them become successful. Paste that into the CEO one. And then I would do the same thing for the engineer, the same thing for the CMO, same thing for the CTO, same thing for I don't even know if we need HR in this. I don't know if the agents are being racist or something, or colliding, or colluding with each other or I don't know, touching each other if that's possible, whatever, in this virtual world of agents that we are living in. But that is freaking sick that you can do this. And yeah, I am